Good morning. My name is Lynn, and I use she, her pronouns. And I am a 62-year-old blondish, festive green wearing white woman. If this is your first time here or your third or your 50th, we welcome you. Let us begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional territory of the Niushkanska people, known sometimes by the name Osage, the descendants of the people who were forcibly removed from this land make up the Osage Nation. We acknowledge their continued struggle for justice. The chalice lighter in the sanctuary is Jesse. The chalice lighting words are Sacred Unknowing by Reverend Amy Carol Webb. We light this flame for the art of sacred unknowing, humbled by all that we cannot fathom in this time. We come into the presence of what we do know, perhaps the only thing we can ever know, that love is now and forever, the only answer to everything and everyone in every moment. The opening words are by Professor Kate Bowler. Blessed are you who don't have all the right answers. You who realize that I don't know the best response and posture for now. Who lean in unafraid to learn and change and be wrong along the way. Blessed are you who are being stretched and pressed and pulled by the uncertainty that surrounds us. You who are deciding to not stay the same because we are not who we were. Things have changed. We have lost things we can't get back, and we need to learn new ways to live here now. Blessed are you who have realized that community really does help us see the truth clear, even if your chin has to be turned gently or forcefully toward it. Being fragile in the midst of a world of hammers takes courage. It takes courage to live here, to be wrong, here to learn something new, to choose humility and kindness and one another over being right. So here's to us, dear ones, the people who don't have it together, but who are done pretending to. It's better this way. Curious, hopeful, courageous, and becoming. Our song for the month of December, when our theme is living love through the practice of presence, is I Seek the Spirit of a Child, number 338 in the Gray Hymnal.
I seek the spirit of a child who meets life naturally, the child who sings the world alive and greets the morning sun with glee. Children are real beyond all art. May I see joy's a gift to our heart. I seek the freedom of a child who loves instinctively, who lights our day with just a smile and shines that light on all we see. Children are real beyond all fears. May I see hope's a gift to our tears. I seek the wonder of a child who sees delightfully, now clowns in cloud, now golden sun, imaginations true and free. Children are real beyond all lies. May I see faith's a gift to our eyes.
Good morning, I'm Tina Ballhorn. Today we are exploring the gifts that can often be hidden in the darkness. And to get us started, I have a very special book to share with you called Winter's Gifts. After the story video, if there are any children or youth in the sanctuary who would like to go downstairs for a more active experience during the rest of the service, parents or caregivers may feel free to walk them down and check them in.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Caitlin Curtis, and I am so excited to share with you my first children's book, Winter's Gifts, an Indigenous celebration of nature. A note to the reader. This story is about a girl named Donnie. Donnie is the Potawatomi word used to describe affection toward a beloved or special daughter. So Donnie represents not just the special love we share with our human families, but also our special status as the beloved children of Creator and of Earth, who is made by Creator to be our mother. I hope you enjoy getting to know Donnie in these pages. Winter's Gifts, written by Caitlin B. Curtis, illustrated by Gloria Felix. Donnie touches a frost-covered branch on the oak tree in her yard. She shivers. Winter, or Babon, is coming in a few days. Her family will light a fire or shkode and think about the darkest night of the year. Many of her friends are afraid of the dark, but not Donnie. The dark feels like a hug, and winter is a time for cozy hugs. The dark of winter reminds us to rest. Even the bears rest in winter. Inside, the wood stove glows. Donnie cuddles up next to her brother Bo and their dog Sam. She thinks about hugs and good dogs and what it means to wait. The next day, there is more snow on the ground. After school, Donnie comes home and makes snowballs to throw at her brother. By dinner time, it is already dark. How long does the darkness last? Donnie asks her parents. Her dad answers, the dark will be here for a while, but when the sun's birthday, the winter solstice comes, the days slowly get longer again. That is one of winter's gifts. Donnie thinks about the gifts of winter. They are different from the gifts that come during the holidays. Winter's gifts are telling stories and waiting. Another gift of winter is resting, like the bears. After we rest for a while, the sun brings back the grass, the flowers, and the leaves on the trees. Donnie remembers that Creator made the sun, or Jesus, to be our grandfather, and the moon, or Debuk Jesus, to be our grandmother. They work together like partners to help us understand Earth and the seasons. Donnie knows that Earth is very special. Creator gave her to us to be our mother and to provide us with the things we need to live. On the first day of winter, Donnie wakes up excited. At school, Donnie and her classmates study the moon's phases. Donnie loves Grandmother Moon and is grateful for Creator's gifts of darkness and light. That evening, Donnie and her family light candles to honor the beginning of winter, the sun's birthday. They eat lots of food and talk about why they love Mother Earth, or Sugamakwe, and Creator so much. They also talk about their ancestors who celebrated the changing seasons. The next day at school, Donnie tells her friends about her winter celebration. They laugh and say that it's strange to celebrate the earth. Donnie tells them about the gifts of rest and waiting. They say, "The earth doesn't give us gifts." Donnie walks away, confused. At home, Donnie sits beneath her favorite oak tree where she built a fort. She talks to the trees and touches the snow. She thanks them for their gifts and hopes that one day her friends will understand. That night, Donnie tells her parents how sad she is that her friends don't believe in Mother Earth's gifts. Her mom says, "Sometimes we forget that we are all friends with Earth and every living creature. The winter teaches us to rest, to remember, and to be thankful. Your thankfulness is your gift to Mother Earth, Donnie." That night, she dreams she is gathered with her friends in a big circle around a giant tree, linking arms and singing. As they sing, the animals come to join them. They sing to Grandfather Sun until he sets, and they sing as Grandmother Moon dances into the sky. The next morning, Donnie thanks Creator for the dream, whispering, "Miigwech momogosnan." She gets dressed and runs outside to her favorite oak tree. Leaves dance in the wind and snow falls off the branches onto her head. Donnie laughs. Her friends from school come and ask if she'd like to go sledding with them. Afterward, they come back to Donnie's house for hot cocoa. Donnie can't decide if she should show them her tree. Will they laugh? Then she remembers what her parents told her. She is proud to be friends with Mother Earth. "Would you like to see my favorite tree?" she asks them. Her friends follow her outside. "How did you build this fort?" they ask. "This tree is amazing," they say. Donnie wonders if she should tell them about her dream. She is nervous, but she remembers what it felt like to sing with all her friends and the animals. She takes a deep breath. A few of her friends giggle and say they need to go home, but two of her friends ask to hear the song from the dream. Donnie closes her eyes and begins to sing. As she finishes her song, it begins to snow. They all run back inside for another cup of cocoa. "Tell us about winter's gifts," Donnie's friends say. Donnie tells them about waiting for spring, about Grandfather Sun and Grandmother Moon, and about rest. Her friends smile. Donnie smiles too. Thank you so much for listening. As I read Winter's Gifts, I hope that you loved listening as much as I loved writing this book for all of you.
Offering our gifts to support the work of building inclusive and just communities is one of the many ways we live into justice and equity together. Some of us have much to give and some have little, and together it is enough. We are enough to work together for a world where every human can live into their best and most authentic self. If electronic giving is your preferred method, or if you are on Zoom, Virtual giving options are available via our website, springfielduu.org. The offertory today is We Three Kings, performed by John and Eva.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Michelle Scott Huffman. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the minister here at First UU. And I am a middle-aged woman with salt and pepper, short spiky hair, wearing khaki pants and a navy sweater. Happy to be with you today. So throughout this month, we've been exploring the theme of presence, presence with and to ourselves, presence with each other, presence in the moment, and a sense that there is a greater presence that exists. Whether you call that presence the universe, goddess, divine light, ultimate reality, ground of being, Adonai, Lord, Great Spirit, higher power, the moral arc, or maybe just community. There is something bigger and outside of each of us that can draw us to a greater good. Hopefully we can all agree that we individually and not even collectively, all of us in this space are the end all be all and the center of everything. Even so, it is helpful if we can find our own center, so that we might work to align it with the center of something larger than ourselves. So as we have several times this month, we will begin with a body scan meditation as a way of finding our own center. So I invite you one more time to settle into this space, to take a deep breath, to get comfortable wherever you're seated or standing, to bring attention to your body. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or maintain a soft gaze with your eyes partially closed, but not focusing on anything in particular. And notice your body wherever it is, seated or standing, feeling the support of the chair or the floor beneath you. Take a few deep, long breaths. And as you take a deep breath, bringing in more oxygen, feel yourself enlivening your body. And as you exhale, try to let yourself feel a sense of relaxing into your exhale. And notice your feet on the floor. The sensations of your feet touching the floor, the weight and pressure, vibration, heat. Notice your legs against the chair, pressure, pulsing, heaviness, lightness. Notice your back against the chair supporting you. If you're not able to notice sensations in all areas of the body, that is okay. We're connected more to certain areas of the body than others at different times. Bring your attention into your stomach area. If it is tense or tight, can you allow it to soften? Notice your shoulders and neck. Let your shoulders drop down from around your ears to the place where they belong. See if you can allow them to soften. Notice your arms, your hands. Are they tense or tight? See if you can release that tension. Try to soften your jaw. Do your best to allow your face and facial muscles be soft. Notice even the top of your head, the sensations that you feel there. The sense of something almost electric as your brain does its work. Then notice your whole body present. Be aware of your whole body as best you can. And then take one more deep cleansing breath, trying to exhale longer than you inhale. As you are comfortable, slowly open your eyes without focusing on anything in particular. Allow your head and neck to gently rotate, taking in the space. And when you feel ready, return to your normal gaze. Hello. Welcome. Happy everything. Blessed Yule, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa. Happy holidays or season's greetings, with a bit of a snarky nod to the Keep Christ in Christmas folks, who would really be better off working to keep Christ in Christianity and joyfully appreciating whatever it is that the other 5.5 billion people in the world are doing. Because so many people are celebrating right now. These are not ordinary times. In the span of a week, starting yesterday, people all around us on both a micro and a macro scale will be celebrating solstice, Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa. Just in this week. It's estimated that something like 2 billion people celebrate Christmas worldwide, either religiously or culturally. 30 million celebrate Kwanzaa, 15 million people celebrate Hanukkah, and because people who celebrate solstice are a little sneaky sometimes, they can't even come up with a number. But untold millions of people participate in festivals and rituals related to the winter solstice, celebrations that are likely some of the oldest continual observations that exist with modern humans, and probably the most diverse, certainly the most borrowed and integrated into other things. These are not ordinary times because beauty and celebration and wonder and awe and anticipation and appreciation are in the air. These are not ordinary times because with the sheer number of people, more than 1/4 of the world's population celebrating something deeply meaningful to them, whether religiously or not, the preponderance of evidence suggests that there remains something worth celebrating. Perhaps even something that is yet a mystery to us. It is so easy for us to get wrapped up in the gloom and doom of our particular circumstances and think that nothing has ever been this bad. But in reality, human history holds the stories of people in situations every bit as difficult as ours, surviving through community and resilience. In my work with young adults, we talk a lot about raising the bar. In other words, we find tools to help us cope and adapt when needed, and a lot of times those tools help us to get from about -10 to 0. And the work that we have to do is so that when we find ourselves in need of using our tools, that those tools take us from 0 to 10. So that the work that we're doing in our spiritual lives to be resilient and happy people and people who are fulfilling ourselves and our commitments to the world, that work doesn't just get us to a place of survival, but that it helps us to thrive as human beings. What are the factors that can help us raise the bar such that our resilience can help us go higher and higher in the growth that we're looking for, and not just get us to a place where we just made it through the day? Hear me when I say that when you have those days that you just made it through the day, that's okay too. But the goal is that we are all able to engage this world in a way that is meaningful and fulfilling and gives life to us and others. I think being fully engaged in seasons of celebration and wonder help us move toward thriving. They give us both time and reason for reflection, and they invite us into a sort of otherworldliness, if we will allow. The best way I can think of to describe a time when so many people are celebrating so much in so many different ways is the language of thin places. The late Harvard theologian Peter Gomes described thin places in this way. There is in Celtic mythology the notion of thin places in the universe where the visible and the invisible world come into their closest proximity. To seek such places is the vocation of the wise and the good. And for those that find them, the clearest communication between the temporal and the eternal. Perhaps the ultimate of these thin places is in the human condition are the experiences of people as they encounter suffering, joy, and mystery. And so I invite you into a time of thinking about the ways that the winter holidays going on right now are an invitation into joy and mystery, so that we ourselves might experience a thin place. In the winter solstice, the longest night of the year leads us into longer and longer days. I love the children's book that was read, because it's not we have to get rid of the dark and have light. It is an appreciation of what we find in the dark that further illumines what comes to us in the light that follows. In the solstice experience, we find renewal, an opportunity to rest and reflect, much like the earth does as it prepares for spring. The divine presence here is subtle yet profound. It whispers to us through the stillness, teaching us that even in our darkest times, there is potential for rebirth. This is a theology of trust, a faith that the cycles of life will continue and that the light we yearn for is already on its way. In the Christmas tradition, Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus, a child embodying divine love and hope for humanity. I would argue that there is no greater humanist tale than the story of the birth of Jesus as a peasant child, being born in the shadow of the empire and taking that empire on, taking on the sort of piety and religion of the time that might have lost its way. For UUs, the Christmas story reminds us of the power of incarnation, not only in the child Jesus, but in all of us, that each act of kindness, each moment of love is an incarnation of divine energy. Hanukkah tells the story of a small group of people who, against all odds, reclaimed their sacred space and kindled a light that endured far longer than seemed possible. The observance marks the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem in the 2nd century BCE, after a small group of Jewish fighters liberated it from occupying foreign forces. With the tiny supply of ritually pure oil that they found in the temple, they lit the menorah, and it stayed lit for 8 days when they only had a day's worth of oil. The tradition speaks to resilience and faith. Even when the odds seem stacked against us, the divine presence within and among us can sustain our light. And Kwanzaa. Born in the 1960s amongst the civil rights movement, Kwanzaa is a celebration of African heritage and values, centering on 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Each principle reflects a profound understanding of divine presence as something that is co-created in community. Kwanzaa reminds us that presence is not just individual, but communal, that it has at its end justice and hope for all people. And so as we gather in this season of celebration and reflection, there is no shortage of things to inspire our awe and wonder. No shortage of trinkets and decorations and festive music and gatherings to inspire our love of community. These are not ordinary times. It is a special season that can thrust us into the coming year with joy and hope. The Advent themes in Christianity of hope and peace and love and joy. Themes of light and dark, themes of resilience, themes of faith, themes of divine presence, but also our presence with one another. All of those things inspire us to be better humans and to create a world that is worth celebrating together as we come to these special times of the year. So as we gather in this season of celebration and reflection, what if instead of being irritated by the celebrations of others that are different from ours, offended when someone has the nerve to wish us happy holidays in the wrong way, what if we embrace the diversity of holidays that shine their light upon us and accept the invitation into a deeper understanding of presence? Whether it is the quiet renewal of solstice, the incarnate love of Christmas, the resilient flame of Hanukkah, or the communal hope of Kwanzaa, each tradition calls us to live with intention and to recognize the sacred light within ourselves and others. Let us go forth into this season with open hearts, embodying the presence of love, hope, and resilience. May we become in our own unique ways the light the world so desperately needs. Blessed be, and amen. The interlude today is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, performed by John and Eva.
Well, I'm finally here. The perils of being short. That was a great, rousing rendition of that song, wasn't it? I'm Millie. My pronouns are she and her. I'm an older person. My hair is slowly turning white. I just wish it would just become white. I like that. Let's see. Today I'm wearing a brown turtleneck, a plaid jacket that has a lot of colors. We got black, brown, tan, gray, white. We left a few colors out. And I have brown slacks on. Okay. I am a member of the Pastoral Care Circle. As a community, we share joys and concerns to keep connected. Slips of paper are available at the greeters table for those in the sanctuary to use for joys and concerns. During the week, you may send your joys and concerns by email to pastoralcare@springfielduu.org or by leaving a voicemail on the church phone 417-883-3922. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat box now for sharing your joys and concerns. All of these joys and concerns will be included in the members' email on Tuesday. We honor each joy or concern with a lighted candle, a symbol of the love we as a community offer for each of these joys and concerns. This morning, Tina will be lighting the candles. Living love through the practice of presence. Given the season, it seems wise to clarify that we are not focusing on the art of giving. Through presence, we are striving to experience the here and now. Even in the midst of holiday excitement and stressors, presence is a gift you can give yourself. Thich Nhat Hanh suggests, drink your tea or coffee or cocoa or milk or juice slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the earth revolves, slowly, evenly, without rushing toward the future. Live the actual moment. Only this moment is life. For this month of December, may our beverages, in addition to hydration, provide us opportunities to practice presence. And now, as we begin this time of sharing, know that though we are in multiple physical spaces, we are together in beloved community. To begin, we hold in love all of us, those present and those absent. We light a candle for our church community. This is a concern from Kay. She says that Bob Lewis, Lewis, excuse me, Bob Lewis died December 17th in New Mexico. Bob and Idell attended First UU, but moved to New Mexico in 2021. Idell survives Bob. Tina says, my great joy is that this week I learned that a new grandchild will arrive in June to join his two sisters and their parents. It's a boy. We'll check the chat box. From Rick Foley and Andrea Shea, we wish everyone a happy and safe holiday and a safe day all year round. We honor the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world. We light a candle for all who are impacted. In closing, for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken, we light a candle. May we hold each of these in our hearts and minds. May our community of love ease sorrow and boost celebration. While we are in multiple physical spaces, we still share space together here in intentional community. And now let us join together in 1 minute of shared silence, followed by Spirit of Life.
Spirit of love, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
The closing words today are A Winter Blessings by Professor Rebecca Ann Parker. In the shadowed quiet of winter's light, earth speaks softly of her longing. Because the wild places are in tears, come, she cries to us, kneel down here on the frosty grass and feel the prayer buried in the ground. Bend your ear to my heart and listen hard. Love this world, she whispers, distill peace from the snow and water the cities with mercy. Weave wonder from the forest and clothe grief with beauty. Rest in the rhythm of the turning year. Trace the bending arc, rounding the curve toward justice, and vow anew to do no harm. The winter trees stand watch, hallowed in the last gleams of the slanting sun. Glory sings here. Heaven echoes the call. Repeat the sounding joy. Make your life an answer. Bow, praise, rise. The final hymn today is When All the Peoples on This Earth. It's number 147 in the gray hymnal. Feel free to stand if you'd like and sing.
When all the peoples on this earth know deep inside their precious worth, when every single soul is free, we'll earn the name humanity. The choice to be the best we can begins the day we say I am. The unity for which we sigh will never come through hate or lie. The lights of Kwanzaa now proclaim that when we share our inner flame, the nurture root and branch with pride will harvest peace both far and wide.
Friends, as we prepare to leave this place, I invite you to take with you joy and hope and whatever it is that you received here that you didn't even know you needed when you came. We're about to extinguish our communal and personal chalices, and then we'll close with our unison closing words. Our service here is ending. Our service to the world begins anew. And just a reminder that that service is at 1:30 at the Crisis Cold Weather Shelter for cot stowing and cleaning, should you desire. But in the meantime, you should go be in fellowship together, in conversation with coffee and snacks.